this with me. Rock Riley in the building as well. He is out in the hallways. What's up, Rock? The show starts, buddy. What are you doing? You out there mingling like it's an actual tailgate out there.
Samuel Cohen's dad.
Oh, you got to meet Sam's dad?
Well, he's like, hey, Rock, his daughter played with my son on a basketball league,
world.
a church basketball league years ago.
Small
And
world.
yeah. So there you go. What's up?
What's up? I was just I was starting it off by telling everybody today is like it's an opening day tailgate. We're just gonna hang out all day.
Yes.
We're at the tailgate.
I'm loving it.
We're gonna crack some beers here in a little bit.
I'm ready.
And we even got the perfect opening day tailgate draft coming up later on the show as well. But today is all about opening day. And look, we're going to get a little football in the mix too, because you have to. I absolutely want to talk about not necessarily the Yankees and the Giants and Aaron Judge going hitless and the only one in the starting lineup without a hit for the Yankees, but I want to talk about the broadcast that Netflix put on yesterday. So we'll get into that as well. But it is opening day here.
It is.
And the Rays take on the St. Louis Cardinals. Good opportunity to get off to a good start on the season. 4:15 first pitch today here on 95.7 WDAE as the Rays make their debut on FM. As you know, a couple of spring training games, of course, they play, but that doesn't count. That's just spring training.
Right. I forgot about that. Listen, I'm telling you, T. Kraz and Chris Mathis have been killing it in the afternoons on the drive. And I think it was about 2 weeks ago. And they had all the big names on. They were breaking news. They were on NFL Network and everything, but they had Kevin Cash on. And it was one of those days. You probably know this being in radio, and you've also listened to sports talk radio a long time. When you reach your destination and you turn off your car and then you sit there and you just continue to listen, you don't go in, you don't leave your car. That was when Kevin Cash was on. I thought it was tremendous, and he was like, man, you're nailing it. But the one thing was Cash. You know what he started the interview? He's like, hey, congratulations, 100,000 watts, 95.7. Hey, that means more Rays fans around the state are going to be hearing us, man. It's great. And I was like, oh, listen, look at that. Even Kevin Cash knows. So, I mean, I'm just really, really pumped up, man. I really am.
We were explaining it to Brett Phillips when he was in the other day as well, and he was like, wow, this is huge. Like, he goes, 95.7 used to be the hip-hop station. So, Brett Phillips knows. He listens to radio.
He grew up here.
And, yeah, the T-Crash show, they get some really good guests, and Chris Mathis will never take credit for it, so I will do it for him. Chris Mathis is a big part of that. Like, Mathis is always, like, if something happens.
Good team.
Chris Mathis right away goes, I'm efforting to get this guy. And he lets the group know. That way we're all not reaching. And Mathis is always first. And Mathis will send the text, and I'm always going, damn it. I didn't even think about that.
Is he going to get a big head? Or
I mean,
is
it
it
was
okay to
Chris
give him
Mathis
the
has
props
no ego.
now?
But
Okay.
I want to give Chris Mathis his credit because a lot of the big guests you hear on the station are because
I'm
of
glad
Chris
you're bringing
Mathis.
that up. There
Well,
you go.
I appreciate that. But ultimately, as long as DAE gets him, we get him right here for the audience. That's the ultimate goal. Like, as long as we can find a show, one of the three
guy.
that
Yeah,
can make
just take the credit, buddy.
I can't. I don't know.
You're
I don't
getting
like
the credit.
that.
The big guests are because of you, all right?
But
This guy is
some credit to Tom as well, though.
You know, we're going to be opening day. Just stop. All right? T-Crest gets all the credit in the world. He's fantastic. We're praising you right now.
Okay.
But, you know, opening day for us, April 6th at the Trop, we got a lot of great guests stopping by. And Chris, you can't give anybody else credit other than yourself. Other than Heartline, that's the only one I booked. You've booked everybody else that is stopping by.
He's the booker
that day.
He is the booker.
And you've done a fantastic job. There's going to be former Rays players.
That's April 6th, right?
April 6th,
April 6th, okay.
So Mathis has an all-star lineup coming by to see, and a lot of them going to be on with us, Rock Riley.
So I was also listening to you, which I like that lunchtime. I like that noon to 2, man. That's a good time because
It's funny. I listened to you at 6.
Well, anyway, you had I forget now. See, I was going to give you credit. Now, what was it you were talking about? Oh, no, it was about April 6th, and you were going down the list, and you were saying, like, this is only like 2 days ago, and you said, you know what? I know we're even going to get some USF people that are coming. It's not just like, you know, Rays people and former Rays and Heartline and, I'm texting someone there, and maybe we'll have the basketball coach. And I was like, that
happened. Yeah, so,
and then it happened.
And I wonder if the person I was communicating with realized he did that because USF, you know, hiring their new basketball coach yesterday, they kept it pretty tight-lipped.
They did.
And in the email that I got said, hey, I know you want the football coach, the basketball coach, and Rob Higgins to come by for opening day. We'll lock in Heartline right now, and let me figure out Rob's time, and then we'll figure out for the basketball coach too. And I went, they already know who the coach is. They've already made a hire. They did at that time.
But you were
and then
listening to you.
It was a couple hours later they made the announcement.
It's like, I remember that from Nick Wise show.
But it wasn't until I was live on the air reflecting on the email and talking about opening day that I realized, it hit me. I'm like, oh, they already made a hire. They know who they've hired. And then, of course, it was announced, and T-Kraz got to break the news on the air for everybody yesterday. And, Chris Mack coming over. And, look, that is the perfect hire for – this was supposed to be about opening day, but we'll talk on USF.
Sure.
Actually, we're going to go to USF at 9:45.
No, that's fine.
Because I want to talk about USF. Todd
Golden
Golden also the favorite to land the North Carolina job. So we'll get into college hoops.
Got you.
But opening day – what makes opening day so special, guys? We can all agree. I think everybody in the room will admit football is their favorite sport. And I think a lot of our listeners are going to admit – football in the NFL, it is king. It is your favorite sport, but something different about baseball opening day. And I think the reason being is because, the NFL opening day, it's just a one-off game on a Wednesday night this year, typically a Thursday. But where baseball, it's like all the action hits and it starts at 1 o'clock. Obviously the Rays are playing at 4:15 today, but there's games that start at 1 o'clock. And for a lot of my life, it felt like, the team that I was covering started at 1, and you got everybody together at work in the morning. We're all wearing our Rays gear. Well, I'm wearing my Rays gear. I don't know what you guys are wearing.
No, I'm wearing the blue.
Sam was wearing a Lightning shirt. Pat was wearing a Bucks shirt. I'm like, what are we doing?
He's a Bucks guy. Pat NFL.
Chris Mathis is wearing a Moss Nissan shirt. Can we get some
representing.
Rays gear, guys?
Yeah, no, this is definitely it's my mistake.
We're waiting for April 6th.
Waiting for April. Well,
I'm bringing it out then.
But I think what makes opening day baseball so special is that we are all unproductive at work together.
Yeah.
We're all sitting around the TV at work, we're bonding, or we're skipping work together. Where football, the main day is Sunday, you're not with all the guys from work, and, maybe you just handle it a little bit differently. Maybe you're just watching the games by yourself. And if you don't have, Sunday ticket, you're only really watching the couple games that are available to you. But I think with baseball, I think a lot of it is because of the time that it happens. Think about if NFL opening day was at Thursday at 1 o'clock, we would all be skipping work together and going to the bar. And I think that's what it is about baseball. It's like you go to work that day knowing, at least how it's always been for me, and not even just while I was at radio jobs. I mean, this was my life even before radio. I know that opening day I was going to be very unproductive. And I was going to be finding my way towards a team. It's just like with March Madness. How they have the Excel.
Last weekend, how many hours? Oh, my God.
Well, once I became a full-time employee, I just take March Madness off. But when I had a part-time job, I was just being unproductive watching college basketball. But they always had, March Madness has that Excel thing you can click. It's like the boss button, and it hides your screen, which is kind of funny. But I think that's what makes opening day so special. It's like a bonding experience. We're all skipping work together for America's pastime.
I think, too, Nick, most of the country, the weather is bad, and they are so over. They're so over the dreariness and the cold, and it's like spring is right around the corner. They know the summer is coming. I was back in Pennsylvania last week, and I was talking to my brother, and he was driving around. He was like, wow, this was one of the worst winters. And he goes, I like all the seasons, but I'm just so looking forward to the summer. Oh, my God, it's going to be great. Spring is here. I planted this stuff out in the yard. It's going to start blooming next week. I think that's a big thing, too. Most of the places around the country, they're so tired of winter, and baseball is the sign of, oh, my God, you look ahead. Spring is great, and the summertime, and it's fantastic. So I think that's a big part of it. And I think if you played Little League, or you remember your opening day, we used to have a parade that you would have your uniform on, everybody were there, you would walk across the town to the field, and then there would be games, and it would be opening day, and you see the red, white, and blue. That's why it is just special. That's why it kind of ticked me off that they started the season on Netflix at night, a night game. I get it. It's cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. It should be today's opening day. All 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock day games, day baseball. That's the way it should be.
Yeah, but I think, okay, the Netflix game, I will say, I liked having it on Wednesday more than the game in Japan like 2 weeks.
That's ridiculous.
Because, they would go to
play
Japan.
exhibitions in Japan, not start the regular season.
Right, they would start the regular season in Japan and then come back and play spring training games.
I experienced that.
Like, I've
when
never
we went
seen
to
that before.
Tokyo. It's so weird. It was the Devil Rays against the Yankees. Lou Piniella was the manager. I was on the team flight. It was great. And then you come back to Tampa Bay, and then it's spring training. It's Grapefruit League. That shouldn't happen.
Like, imagine if the Buccaneers had to go play like an overseas game and then come back and then they had to continue preseason football.
And it's training camp again. You're back in training camp all day.
But that's what they. So I think
weird.
having the Netflix opening night on a Wednesday was at least better than that. Like because I just it's
Are you
like
a big Netflix guy, or you just wanted to see?
No,
like,
but it was like when the season started. It's like the season opening day hasn't even hit, and the Dodgers already have a 3-game lead in their division.
That's wrong.
You know what I'm saying?
That is wrong.
Like, it was just
wrong.
I thought it was weird to start a regular season and then go back to spring training. It didn't make any sense. So,
yeah,
the alternative last night, Netflix, and obviously they didn't do the overseas game, I assume, because of the World Baseball Classic. But, for them to kick it off on Netflix last night, that was an interesting broadcast. I do want to talk more. I want to get into the Yankees and Giants in last night's game, but more from a broadcast standpoint.
Okay.
We're not going to sit here and break down Yankees baseball for you. We know that's not what you want to hear, or the Giants. Now, we'll give you some good news from that game. Aaron Judge, 0 for. The only one in the lineup went 0 for, and Jose Caballero was the first Major League Baseball player ever to challenge the strike, to challenge a call, and he was wrong. It was so close.
So
it was so close.
So Matt Vasgersian is a very good play-by-play guy. He's been on MLB Network because he didn't like to travel. He used to do the San Diego Padres. He did different games. He's very, very good. And you know what, Nick? He brought up a good point. He's like, how many spring training games did we see where the calls were always overturned?
Yeah.
It just seemed like every single call was overturned in spring training, and this one didn't work. It was different.
So we'll talk about the Netflix broadcast. Okay. Also, Rays fans texting in, how do we watch the Rays on TV? We'll talk about that, too, because we got some new information today. We'll explain to you how all of that works. Coming up next on WDAE.
Your flagship